Hi listeners, welcome back to Insuright's knowledge series. Now, I'll be talking about mental illness coverage under health insurance. See, 10 years back, 10, 12, maybe a decade or decade and a half back, insurance, health insurance policies were excluding mental illness or related psychiatric treatments. It was a specific exclusion. In 2017, Mental Health Care Act was passed, and it is a very significant act in the sense it has specifically said that the health insurance policies should treat mental illness on par with physical illness. So we all know that a typical health insurance policy covers diseases, accidents. But then what about mental illness? So this act has specifically mentioned that mental illness should be treated on par with physical illness. And this act also defines what is mental illness. I'm just reading it from the act. Mental illness means a substantial disorder of thinking, mood, perception, orientation, or memory that grossly impairs judgment, behavior, capacity to recognize, or ability to meet ordinary demands of life. Mental conditions associated with alcohol and drugs, but does not include mental retardation, which is a condition of arrested or incomplete development of mind of a person, especially characterized by subnormality of intelligence. Okay, this is the very broad definition. Okay, now again we have to make very clear, mental illness should not be, when it says that mental retardation, we know that there are certain syndrome like Down syndrome, but by birth the child is mentally retarded. This act doesn't address that. Now, after this act was passed, now subsequently all the insurance policies started including mental illness into the coverage. So they were not excluding the mental illness. In that sense, we should be thankful for the government of India to have passed this act and made it defined what is mental illness, and has made the insurance companies who are offering health insurance policies to include mental illness as a coverage, not as an exclusion. And as a policy holder, what should I look at it? So when you take an insurance policy, since it is mandatory to cover mental illness, you need to check whether the policy is covering mental illness. One. Secondly, the policy will define mental illness. Now that definition of mental illness should not restrict the scope of the definition already given in the Mental Health Care Act. Okay, so the Mental Health Care Act definition need to be protected so that the health insurance policy is in line with what the Mental Health Care Act 2017 envisages for mental well-being. Okay, I mean, put it this way, still we are in terms of data and regarding mental illness, it is not still that much developed in India. Still we are not a long way to go, but we are also very familiar that mental illness is a serious problem. Many celebrities are trying to create awareness through various media. Please be aware that the health insurance policy has to compulsorily cover mental illness so that there is a scope for treatment for mental illness also. Thank you very much.